Good afternoon, and welcome to the AFA Virtual Booth Builder Orientation webinar. Today we will be reviewing how to log in for the first time, when you return, how to complete your company details, add external links to your virtual booth, add video links to your virtual booth, attach documents, including PDFs, to your virtual booth, update the promotions and show specials, as well as add product directory listings. If you have any questions or special requests, please don't hesitate to send those questions to kyle@connexus.com or reach out to Justin, who's here today with you on the orientation. Before we get started, if you have confirmed your registration for a virtual booth at the upcoming AFA Virtual Expo, you will receive an email from Connexus Registration inviting you to begin registering your booth representatives and building your virtual booth. The email will look something like this, and will also include information on how to register for today's virtual booth builder orientation. The first thing you'll be able to do is register your booth staff by clicking on the Register Representatives button in that email. Clicking on that button will bring you to this page where you can check and confirm your company information. Company information is displayed here in the company information area, and your main company contact is listed here in the center. There is no limit to the number of booth representatives you can register for your booth, but it is very important that you keep in mind any representatives you register in this area will have access to the booth chat and booth stats for the company listed above. So be sure to only add representatives who should have access to that virtual booth. In order to add new representatives, simply click the Add New Representative button at the bottom and complete the necessary information to add your reps. You'll also notice in the email that you receive that there is a handy link to the Virtual Booth Builder. This link is also located in your virtual company profile up at the very top in a button called Build Virtual Booth. This button will take you to our Virtual Booth Builder site that looks like this. The first time you arrive on the AFA Virtual Booth Builder site, you're going to be looking for your company listed under option 1. If your company is not listed here, please confirm that it is not located under option number 2, which indicates you have already gained access to your booth. And if it is located in neither of the areas, please reach out to support@connexus.com to determine what the issue could be. If your booth has not been paid for in full or has not been confirmed yet, you may not be listed here yet. Once again, the first time you arrive on the site, you will select your company from the option 1 dropdown and click Continue. Here we ask you to verify your main contact information that is provided at the time that you purchase your booth and add a company password. Something nice and easy that you and your team will be able to use to re-access this area should you need to make any changes to your virtual booth down the line. You'll notice phone number is required, so please be sure to include that for your main contact at the same time that you add this password. Once you have logged in to the Virtual Booth Builder, you will land on a page that looks like this. Please note there is some important information and instructions as well as tips included here at the top of the page, and we suggest you give that a quick read through. You'll also notice these 2 buttons that will be very important during your virtual booth building process. The green Save Change button is something you should be clicking as many times as possible. Whenever you make any changes to your site, it is always a great idea to click the Save Changes button to lock those changes in place. Unfortunately, we have had users who do not click this button, make a number of adjustments to their booth and close the browser, only to find those updates are not held in place. So please do be sure to click the Save Changes button whenever you make updates to lock your changes in place. The Preview Current Listing button will allow you to pop up a preview of your virtual booth in its current format based on the information you have provided, so you can take a quick peek at what you're going to be showing during the live show. In building your virtual booth, there are a number of tabs that we're going to work through to show you how you can populate all of the important information for your booth. The first tab is called Details, and here you'll update all of your company information. Please confirm the send message contact is appropriate, as this will be the individual that will receive any emails that retailers send to your virtual booth using the send message button. This should be your main booth contact or main booth inbox. Next up is your company logo. To add this, simply click the Change button, choose File, and locate your company logo. Once you upload this, you should see your logo appearing here in a preview format, and that means it will be in the booth. Again, you can always click Save Changes to ensure that any changes or updates you've made are locked in place. Next up, you'll see the ability to adjust your booth color. We will have a standard color for all booths that matches with the branding of the show. However, if you'd like to make your booth stand out, you can customize the color of your menu bar and buttons by clicking on the colors in this area here. Furthermore, if you happen to know your precise RGB, HSL, or hex number for specific brand colors, you're able to enter those in here to perfectly match any branding requirements you may have. Be sure once you've selected a custom booth color that you check off the box to confirm that the custom booth color is used. Next, you'll see the opportunity to attach categories to your virtual booth. Choose as many categories as apply to the products and services that you are offering in your virtual booth. This will allow the search abilities for the retailers to optimize their search results for your company. Next up, you'll see the ability to update company information, including city, province, postal code, country, etc. You could populate as much or as little of this information as you wish to make available to anyone visiting your virtual booth. You will also see an area where you can include a company description that includes up to 1,000 characters of text, and you can get as creative as you'd like for this. We have added a tip specific to the AFA event here, and we do suggest that you include as many brand names, products, and service keywords as possible in your description. Searches in the exhibit hall area will query company descriptions for results. So if you'd like a retailer to find your booth by any brands you offer, be sure to include those brands in your description and you'll come up in the search. I'm just going to click Save Changes here to lock all of those changes in place and move on to the next tab. The next tab in your virtual booth builder is our external links area. This is going to be the area where you'll be able to add links to your company website, as well as your social media pages. Now, please note, when adding Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, or Pinterest links, that you do include the full URL, as you can see I'm doing here in the demonstration. Do not just include your hashtag or your account name, as the buttons, although they will appear in your virtual booth, will not properly link to the social media site of your choice. So do ensure that you include the links in their full format, as you see here in my demonstration, and that will turn on the very recognizable Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube icons in your booth, allowing people to check out your social media pages. The last three links you'll see here in this area are what we call our integrative links. If your company happens to have a survey system that you like to use, something like SurveyMonkey, you are welcome to include the URL link to a company survey here, and this will turn on the company survey button in your virtual booth. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to put some test words in here so that I can show you what these look like. Please do be sure if you use these, just like with the social media links, to include the full URL. The second opportunity is a meeting scheduler. So if your company utilizes a service like Calendly or other meeting scheduler tools, you can simply set up your meeting scheduler app or site, or however your system works, and pop the URL to that meeting scheduler in here. and that will activate the button in your booth. Last but not least, we have a video meeting room opportunity. So if, again, your company uses Zoom or Google, Microsoft Teams or Google Meets, any of those meeting room companies, you simply have to set up your own company video meeting room and provide the URL link to that video meeting room here in this area, and that will activate the live link in your booth. I'm going to go ahead and save the changes and move on to the next tab. The next tab you'll see here is your video links tab. Each exhibitor is allotted up to 5 videos that they can include in their booth, one of which can be featured front and center in the virtual booth itself. In order to add videos to your booth, you simply need to host them on a video hosting site such as YouTube, Vimeo, or your own external website. And with the URL link to your video popped into this little box here, your video will be properly embedded in the booth. If you'd like to feature a video front and center, simply check off the featured box here on the right. You will see you can only have one video featured at a time. So if you wish to change that, just uncheck and check the appropriate one as you need it. Your featured video, of course, can be changed. So if you'd like to have a different video each day, be sure at the end of each day to go in and change that so that it is updated by the next morning. One thing to keep in mind at all times with the virtual site is there is about a 2-hour cache on any changes. So make sure if you're making any changes during the show, there are some instances, depending on cache situations on different computers, that those changes may take up to 2 hours to appear for some users. The next tab we're going to move on to is the Documents tab. Here you have the opportunity to upload PDF documents no larger than 20 megabytes to your booth, up to 10 for each booth. This is an ideal place to display downloadable brochures and product information. Although I would point out that this area is a public area where any retailers or attendees to the virtual show are able to access these PDFs at their liberty. So we do not recommend you include any private pricing information in this area, as it would be the equivalent of putting that information on a table at the edge of your booth for anyone to grab at the in-person show. So just keep in mind, whatever PDFs you do choose to upload here, it is basically available to anyone who is attending the show. I'll just show you quickly here. Uploading the PDF is as simple as choosing the file from your computer, adding a brief description, and uploading that to your virtual booth. Next up is the Show Specials tab, where you can promote any show promotions or show specials that you might be talking about here at our virtual show. Things like free shipping and other specials that might pertain to a timely ordering schedule. In order to add new show specials, simply click the Add New button. You'll notice you have the opportunity to include a description as well as an image. I'm going to go ahead and use this promotion image. And if you'd like, you can include an external URL link. For instance, if your promotion has a place on your personal company website, you can include the link to that promotion here with more information. Adding that show special listing will appear like this, allowing you to edit and delete those listings as you require over on the right. Second to last on our orientation today is the main image tab. This is an opportunity for companies that perhaps don't have video content or as much video content, or perhaps don't wish to have a video as the main front and center feature of their booth. If you prefer to utilize a main image as the main feature of your booth, you can do so by adding the main image, choosing that file from your computer, and adding that in this way. This will appear front and center in your booth. If you leave this blank, this will allow you to feature your video front and center. Last but certainly not least, allow me to introduce you to the product directory area. This perhaps the most important area is where you will upload your product listings. We do suggest that you highlight new products and product specials and things that you're looking to really draw a spotlight on for the upcoming AFA virtual event. In order to add these product listings, You'll click the Add New button. Fill in all of the necessary fields of information, including the name of your product, the description of your product, assign any categories that may apply. You can add up to 5 individual images of that product, so different angles, different versions. I'm going to go ahead and upload 2 versions of 2 pictures for my sample listing here. And underneath the pictures, you'll see a number of other optional opportunities as well to enhance that listing. If you happen to have a video link that perhaps specifically is a video pertaining to that product, you can include that link here. If you have a virtual tour or something similar that applies to your product, you can include that link here. If you have a direct link to purchase that product on your website that you'd like to include, you can include that link here in the purchase URL. And finally, if you have pricing details that you wish to include, again, totally optional, you can include that here. Brochures can also be uploaded and attached to the product. So if the product itself has its own specifications document that you are okay with folks having access to, you can go ahead and upload that here. And if it's a new product, you can certainly flag it as such by checking off the new button here. This will allow us to very easily filter all new products and allow retailers a quick opportunity to simply browse new products if that's what they're interested in. With all of that being completed, that is a full virtual booth build from start to finish. Once we've saved all of the changes, we can go ahead and click the Preview Current Listing button to take a look and see what it's looking like. So I'll point out to you the custom booth color we selected appears here across the top, as well as incorporated into your buttons on the right and your tabs across the bottom. So if you change that custom booth color, this is where that will appear. You'll also notice your company logo appears, as well as all of the contact information we uploaded. Any social media links that you added will appear as the icons folks are familiar with. If you added a meeting room, survey room, or schedule a meeting link, these buttons here will appear. And of course, the send email message button will always appear, allowing at any time, no matter what, whether there's an exhibitor available or not, retailers can send you an email message, and that will allow you to follow up with them directly if needs be. The description we entered appears down here, right below the booth, with an area for attendees and retailers to download those documents we uploaded. You'll also notice the product directory allows users to go and view those product listings that we added. So here's that cat tote bag listing we added with the multiple pictures and brief product description. Companies also have a great opportunity for show specials. So here we have our free shipping discount promoted. You can, of course, include much more information suggesting that orders placed, between certain dates are eligible for this discount. You'll also see the videos tab where those videos we uploaded will all appear available for viewing. And of course, the featured video has been overwritten by our main company image here. So again, I'm going to go back over to our booth builder. Stand by. And just for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and remove that main image for you. And now when you come back into the video, you'll see our featured video is what sits there front and center for folks to view. So that's an opportunity. If your company has a video you'd like to feature, that can be done, or we can feature an image. The rest of the videos, of course, will appear down below. Last but not least, as we confirm staff and push them through to the registration site, they will also appear on a great little staff tab. So retailers that visit your booth will be able to see all of the reps associated with that booth. That concludes this virtual booth building orientation. As I mentioned, If you happen to have any questions or special requests, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself, Kyle at connexus.com, or my colleague Justin at connexus.com. Or you can always reach out to the AFA team and they'll be able to forward your questions on to the appropriate person. I'll now go ahead and open the floor to any questions, and my colleague Justin will be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Thank you again. Have a great day.